For all of you that don't know me, I am Joel Olson. I don't know why I got nominated to do this. I'm the world's poorest public speaker, and I'm basically a has-been that never was. But I've had a great time. And I've known Tim for a long, long time. We wore out one pickup and 3 engines traveling together in the early 80s, late 80s. My first impressions of Tim, I was at a little rodeo in Almont, grass arena. Here comes Tim, his whole family, horseback. Tim's on a little paint horse called Peanuts. He's 4 years old. Now, he wasn't entered in the calf roping, he wasn't entered in the team roping, but he was entered in the flag race, the pee-wee barrel race, and the musical chairs. And they beat him, but only once. Tim was quite a competitor. He went home and he worked on that little pony, and it wasn't long, and pretty soon Tim was a force to be reckoned with in all the local shodeos, local rodeos. He came up through the Little Britches Rodeo. He was a 2-time state high school champion, 73 and 75, I think. He Rough Rider rodeoed, he NPRA rodeoed, he NDRA rodeoed. He has several state championships. If you read his bio, there's a misprint. Some of his years that they said he won year-end titles, they're NPRA instead of NDRA. In 1985, he got his pro rodeo card, was voted Rookie of the Year in the PRCA and the calf roping in the Badlands circuit. And he traveled through a lot of pro rodeos after that, but he was also, went to Japan one time as a rodeo ambassador for, I think he went for the state of Montana. I don't think it was North Dakota, but Montana and North Dakota are pretty close. He also was a 2006 world champion senior pro rodeo tie-down roper then. It was no longer calf roper. He was a tie-down roper, which is quite an accomplishment. I think Leo Camarillo was one of his closest competitors that year. I can't tell you too much more about Tim other than maybe one little story. We were at a rodeo in Rugby, North Dakota one evening, and I had my 2 young girls with. They probably weren't in school yet, but they had a big barrel there that were a beer can, a balloon. And Tim's putting his skid boots on Old Gray, his famous calf horse, and Gray got a little spooked. Actually, I think George, my head and horse, maybe jumped and bumped Gray, but he stepped on Tim's foot. And Tim did a couple little circles there, and being the kind of guy I am, I said, it's a long ways from your heart. Just buck up and go rope. And we got through the rodeo. I'm pretty sure Tim placed in the calf roping. But anyway, after the rodeo, he took his boot off, and there's a little red in his sock and kind of a drip. And so we get him lined up with the guy to go down to the hospital. I put the horses away, jump my kids in the pickup, and we're driving up there, and my girls say, how are we going to find Tim in this hospital? And we pulled into the parking lot. And I said, well, it shouldn't be too hard. It's not a very big hospital. And we walked in the main entrance, and there was a little footprint in red. I said, I think we'll just follow this trail. Well, needless to say, we found Tim in a room there, and they sewed up his toe. His big toe was kind of like hamburger. And went home, everything was fine, other than he did kind of whine a little bit on the trip home that his toe hurt. But so this was on a Saturday. I called him on Monday, and I said, I suppose we're not going to go anyplace this next weekend. And he said, why? And I says, well, aren't you crippled? Yeah, he said, I can't get my boot on yet, he said, but I've talked to a guy, and they're going to cut the toe out of it, he said, and put a piece over it. He said, I should be fine, he said. So we went on and went to the next rodeos the next weekend and traveled a lot of miles. Right now, Tim is residing in Maricopa, Arizona. He kind of runs a little guest retreat, you might say, for the snowbirds with horses that like to rope. He's got a pen of rope and steers and accommodations for a couple trailer hookups, and that's kind of basically what he does all winter long, is takes care of us northern people. So I would urge you to vote for Tim. He was quite a competitor and has quite a lot of accomplishments as a rodeo cowboy in North Dakota, South Dakota, Montana. He also traveled the pro rodeo circuit, I believe about 10 years, traveling with guys like Joe Lucas from Canada. And he's just a pretty good roper, quite a competitor. I thank you for your time.